to Star Wars fans, welcome to Middle-Aged Kiwi Man collecting Star Wars figures. Behind the camera this time, not in front of it. I've managed to pick up COVID again, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, I'd look even worse than normal, so it's just better if I stay behind here. Anyway, today I wanted to have a look at the Star Wars, the Saga collection Clone Trooper. This is from the 2/112th Battalion, and it's a really, really cool figure. So let's have a wee look. Displays really nicely, although yeah, shocking amount of glare because of the curved bubble, but behind there you can see it's a really nice shot from Utapau, and you can see Commander Cody there. These figures look so good presented like that. On the back there you can see there's a bit of a picture of the figure and some of the other figures in the wave, and then, well, I might have to scroll up here, not scroll, pan. You can see a little description of the trooper there, and come with all sorts of neat things, and in this case it comes with a blue hologram Darth Maul, and I think they mixed up those holograms. I'm pretty sure you can buy the same figure but get a different hologram. So yeah, looks and presents very nicely, as I said. So I've got quite a few of these guys loose. There's more on the shelf. As you can see, this one here has got quite a yellowed chest, but the other ones look quite good. And if I bring in my Commander Cody here, he's from the same era, so he's also a Saga Collection one. He's also got a yellowed torso, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, I'll put him aside for a second, bring in one of these nice and close. Sometimes you'll hear these referred to as the antenna mold, because there's that removable antenna. But it is quite a dated figure now, but the deco on this is quite good, and it's probably much better than the Vintage Collection one that we have so far, and there's another Vintage Collection one coming out later, which I'll talk about later. Later. Anyway, let's have a look. So he's just got swivel hips, no balls there. Does have quite decent knee joints, although they don't go over 90 degrees. He's got some kind of ankle with a hinge and kind of a rotate. I can't remember what you call those. He holds his weapon well in two hands, which is cool. Ball jointed shoulder, ball jointed elbows, swivel wrists, so for its time, very, very good articulation. And then, of course, non-removable helmet, which is cool for clone troopers. And then this is the aforementioned antenna, which just pops off. Just comes with a one rifle. Just noticed that now. Okay, so I've just brought in VC-15, the Clone Trooper, because I don't have the 2/1 Battalion one in the Vintage Collection. And you can see there, it's got like a green helmet. It's not a great mold. Again, VC-15, that one's all creased in that as well. So they're, you know, they definitely needed to upgrade that. And there is a new one coming out in the Vintage Collection, which is pretty fantastic. Alright, so I realise it's going to take me this many figures to get all my points across, so bear with me. So we'll start with this guy here. This one dates back to 2003. It's a Phase 1 Clone Trooper, as you can see, and the first of what they called the Super Articulated, so it's pretty groundbreaking. Again, it's just got the swivel at the thigh, so it is essentially the same as this mold, with obviously a different helmet and different markings, so that's where this one originates from. And of course some modification at the back to allow the antenna, so effectively this guy dates back to 2003. Okay, cool. Then we get to this guy here, which is VC-15, the one I showed you just before. It does have a removable helmet. It's not that great. It has a slight upgrade and it's similar-ish proportions, but it does have ball joints at the hips, and it's a very, very dated figure. It was very dated at the time, and these ones yellow quite badly. This one's crucial because that is the mold that our current Vintage Collection 2/112th figure is based on, and it is also a massive pile of garbage. Right, fast forward a little bit. This is VC-45. So this is essentially the Clone Trooper body that we have in the vintage collection right now. So this is obviously a Phase 1 clone, but they adapted it for the Phase 2 clones, and here you can see the 501st with that body. And you can see just because of the difference in the helmets, it looks quite a bit better with the Phase 1 versus the Phase 2. And I know that Boss Bounty and Bantha Skull and a whole bunch of other people have always said this body is far too skinny. So that is why we're getting a new one. Really excited for the new mould. And just before I chuck this guy away, I want to get into the very latest controversy. So of course they are bringing out a plain white Phase 2 clone on the Andor card, which will be awesome. It's debatable whether you actually see them in Revenge of the Sith or not, so I'm glad they brought it out on an Andor card. But here on the left we've got the 501st, on the right we've got the 332nd Ahsoka clone. The big difference is the painting of above the visor. There's a black line above the brow on this one, which is accurate to the movie, and this one has no black brow, or you can see that grey line above the black brow on the helmet. It doesn't have any of those details. At the time I didn't really notice it. It didn't really bother me because we'd only ever seen this one in animation. But the new clone mold that they're bringing out, and they're bringing out in a 2/112 battle pack, has no brow line, so it's not accurate to the movies. It's accurate to the cartoon material, which, you know, I don't think that vintage collection should be for cartoon styled. It should be for realistic styled only. Anyway, and why have I got this guy in the back? Because there are some people still who go, oh, the antenna mold is the best mold of the clone trooper. Wrong. And I bought this guy out because he's as close to one of the most recent army builders we've got. You can see he's got that new style hip joint, which is going to give amazing posability. His knees go right past 90 degrees, and he has rocket ankles, and the new Phase 2 clone is going to have all of those things. And hopefully Tim from Boss Bounty gets hold of one very soon and he does a review and we can all see what it looks like, but really looking forward to that one. And there we go. We'll just quickly jump back to why I made this video in the first place, and that was just to show off the Saga Collection 2/112 Clone Trooper, which I think is outstanding. Really looking forward to the new mold that Hasbro is bringing out, firstly in the plain white Andor one, but also, if I can, I'll probably get hold of that 2/112 pack as well. I just wish it had the black brow above the visor and those little grey bits, and the V thing goes all the way to the back. Anyway, if you've made it this far, apologies for the ramblings. I'm middle-aged Kiwi man collecting Star Wars figures. Ka kite, and I'll see you on another video.